Hey everyone. So it's been a really long time since I've done any sort of vlog or video update. It's been so long. Um, I think I've recorded a few that I never actually posted for one reason or another. I'm assuming either the audio was bad in one or two of them. Um, the information ended up, stuff changed, so there's no point in talking about stuff that ended up not being able to happen, or there was a change to it or whatever. So the last one I did was April of 2013, so it's now December 2014, so it's almost been 2 years, about a year and a half. So I just want to kind of touch on the things that I've done over the past year and a half and the things that I will be doing. The last time I recorded a vlog, I was in a dorm at Mercer, and that was my junior year of college. So all the vlogs that I recorded that I didn't post were from my apartment in Macon during my senior year, and now I'm back home where I grew up and graduated from college. I'm currently waiting. I'm in this weird kind of in-between state because I'm hoping. I'm still waiting to hear back about acceptance and all of that, but I'm hoping to go to SCAD starting in January to get my master's in film and television. But I'm still waiting to hear that. It probably won't be for another week or two, depending on how the Thanksgiving holiday worked, and if that delayed the process any. But so yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going full on film and television. As you can see, I kind of really enjoy film. Um, but I've been doing a lot of stuff. Something on me. But I've been trying to keep busy since I recorded the vlog in April. I don't remember exactly what I talked about, but I know I have a list here of every project that I've done. It's good to keep up and keep your resume up to date. So I did a show at Middle Georgia State College called Moon Over Buffalo. I don't know if I talked about that at all, but I did that show. And then over the summer, I did background work. I'm not doing a lot of background work anymore, but I did do one over the summer of 2013 called Solace with Anthony Hopkins. He was on set. I got to meet Abby Cornish. She was on set too. That was a lot of fun. And then play-wise, I did Tartuffe, which is a French comedy from the 1600s. I played Orgon. That was a lot of fun. Did a show called Love Kills. I played 3 different roles in that, including a drunk workman and Sigmund Freud. That was a lot of fun. And then at the beginning of 2014, I was kind of audio-visual director. Basically, I compiled all the visuals and audio for this Reader's Theater of a play, and then I ran the visual components during the live performance, and it was quite a challenge. I was working on the visuals for that up to the day of. I was working on them till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning for the show that started about 7 that evening, and then about about noon or so, I got a message from the playwright asking me to add more stuff to it. So even up until 1, 2 o'clock that day, I was still adding stuff and never got to do a full run through of the show with the final visual components until we actually did it live. But it all worked out well. It was a very fun experience, and it was a good show. And then after that, I did 2 more stage plays. Picasso de la Panagile by Steve Martin. I played Gaston, and that was just a really fun role, fun show. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend seeing a production of it or reading the play. It's hysterical. And then I did Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, another very fun show. I played King Claudius in that. Tom Stoppard. Then I did a Reader's Theater, a show that's not in production yet. The playwright wanted to kind of, basically see how it sounded or, whatever. 99 Uses for a Naked Man. I read for Porter John. It's a little disturbing material, and it goes into meta theater. But it was a heck of a play. It was excellent. I did. It's not on here, but I remember doing this. I did Being Mary Jane. It's a show on BET. Not sure how to describe it. I basically just took a few photos for a half hour or so, and they'll probably be part of some sort of montage when that comes back on the air in I think February 2015, but I don't know when the episode will air. So you might see me, you might not. I don't know. But hey, you know, paycheck's a paycheck. That's what matters. Then after that, I did the 48-hour film project. I'd always wanted to do one, and I finally did it with Black Flight Studios, who actually won the Savannah 48-hour film project the year before. So this was the Atlanta one, and we got dark comedy. So we did one called Ripe for Murder, which is online. So if you search Ripe for Murder, Black Flight 48, whatever, you can find it. I was first assistant camera. I did sound, and I second unit directed a few scenes, mostly the montage stuff. So I did that. We won the award for best use of prop. If you don't know what the 48-hour film project is, basically everyone chooses a random genre from hat or box or whatever, and everyone has the same prop, line of dialogue, and character that everyone has to use. That way you kind of know that it's done within the 48 hours, because all your writing, production, post-production, all has to be done within that 48 hours. So we got best use of prop. Prop was a peach. It's Ripe for Murder, so it's a detective chasing a serial killer who leaves peaches at all the crime scenes. So that was a lot of fun, tiring, but a lot of fun. And then I also did a music video, did director of photography. Don't know where that is. I just shot it, but it was interesting because I never done a music video before, so it was a cool experience to try that. Then I did my first feature film as an actor. I got my first leading role in a feature film, a low-budget horror film called Prowlers from Lunacity Entertainment. It's basically, I'm not a fan of found footage films, but when I talked to the director, neither was he, and that kind of led me to agreeing to do the project because it was something different. It's basically all from his perspective, and it's kind of following this guy as he just deteriorates further and further and further, and it's an interesting piece. It's definitely the most interesting role I've ever played, playing this stalker, serial killer, and it's horror, but it's also dark comedy. I got to do a lot of improv, and it'll be interesting. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know when it's going to release. I do know that it will be available. If it doesn't go on Netflix or Redbox, because that's all down the road, up in the air, it will definitely be distributed online on a website. But that's probably gonna be a while from now, so I'll be sure to keep everyone up to date on that. I also did a short film directed by Don McGraw, his first short film. He played Stonewall Jackson in Abraham Lincoln vs. Zombies, called 7 Card Stud. This is basically a poker game, really fun film. I played kind of the voice of reason, kind of the simplest guy there, basically, but he's the one with the heart, so it's much different than playing the stalker serial killer, for sure. And then after that, I did another 48-hour film with Black Flight Studios, this time for the Atlanta 48 Film Horror Project. So all the films here are horror. They're still different genres of horror. We got cannibalism, so our film dealt with cannibals. And I was a camera op. I helped out with lights a little bit. I kind of ran whatever was needed. Did visual effects for titles. And I played Chester Kilmore, the cannibal clown. So that one's not online. The trailer is. The film itself is not online because it won Best Film at the 48-Hour Film Project. So out of all the films that competed, we actually won Best Film. So it then aired at the Buried Alive Film Fest. Great response there as well. And we're hoping that it'll air at other festivals and such, and hopefully we'll do more with the property. I also worked with Black Flight on a short film called Friend Request, doing sound and lights. It's going to be part of if I understand correctly, it's going to be part of a horror anthology of short films, and that was a lot of fun to work on. I got to do some really grisly stuff, some cool visuals. I also did background on another movie. I said I kind of stopped doing background. This was one where I was like, I'll make an exception because I did background on Ant-Man. Can't say anything else about it, but I did background on that, and it was fun. And then the big stuff I've been doing. We wrapped our main shoot for my next short film, Finding Jimmy Bava. It's a gangster film that I wrote back in 2011. And I've rewritten it like 10 times since, but the initial idea was written in 2011. So I wrote it, directed it, edited it, and played a very small role in it. Fun fact, when you watch the film, I had about 7 lines of dialogue total, and I cut it down to 2. But it's a gangster film, really happy with the way it's turning out. The early cut's finished. We're still waiting on the original score to come in. I'm waiting to hear back from a few music publishers about licensing music for it. And I do have a day of reshoots that I want to do, just small things, because it looks really good. The trailer is available online, so you can watch the teaser trailer for the film. I'm really excited about it. I think it's one of the better things that I've done. Definitely the most professional looking, and I'm really excited to see what happens there. And it will be submitted to various film festivals. And so hopefully it'll play different festivals around not only Georgia, but the country as well. I'm also currently doing stuff with Georgia Public Broadcasting, doing camera operator stuff. I just did live television last night. We'll be doing it all throughout the next 2 weeks over various days. And I believe that's all the stuff I've been working on. And I have other stuff that I want to do as well. I do want to stop right here and mention that in the last vlog, because I'm pretty sure this is what happened then, I talked about my first feature film and how that was going to be my next project. Well, that didn't happen. It was a school project that was going to be a feature, and the school kind of put a stop to it. Or I say the school, not the school as a whole, but a certain department, whatever, put a stop to it. So that ended up not being my final project. My final project ended up just being the screenplay and the teaser trailer that I made to raise funds for it. It's still a project that I want to make, and I will make one day, but it will probably be much further down the road. My main focus right now is doing short films, because I realize that although I have the passion to make a feature film, I don't necessarily have the resources and the time currently, so it'd be more in my best interest to do more short films, build up my real resume, abilities, and confidence, and then I can move into a feature film once I do all that, and I have something to show investors and can do my first feature. Finding Jimmy Bava is my next film. That's the one that's currently in post-production and should be and will hopefully be completely finished by the end of the year, but it will debut at festivals in 2015. And then after that, I don't know what my next film will be, 100% sure, because if I do go and get my master's, I am pretty confident that my next short film will be 30 Lives Later, which, if you've been following our Facebook page, which go follow facebook.com/SingleServingPictures, then you'll probably know that that was going to be my next project earlier in the year. Unfortunately, we had a few technical issues, and then we also had an issue with our actor no longer being available after we filmed the majority of his stuff. So that ended up being pushed aside and put on the back burner once that happened. But I think it's for the best, because now we can do it the right way and we can do it better. So that I'm thinking that'll probably be my next project, just because it's something where I'm happy with the script already. I'm fine with where it is now. I have in mind what I want to do with it, so I'm thinking that'll be my next project. If you don't know about 30 Lives Later, basically it's about a guy who is about to commit suicide, and he's stopped by a homeless man who reveals that he also once committed suicide, and when he did, he woke up in someone else's life with all of their memories and experiences, and it's basically him recounting his journey through these multiple people's lives. And it's really interesting stuff. So I'm really happy with the script, and I'm excited to see what happens with it on screen. Other projects I have coming up. I said, I'm looking at my list here. Finding Jimmy Baba, 30 Lives Later, Until the Dead Lie Still. This will be a feature project that I want to do eventually. Just on the website alone, which is singleservingpictures.com, you can see I have 2 other projects listed, including a horror film that I want to make, a superhero-based film. It's not a superhero film, but it involves superheroes and comic books that I kind of want to make. And then I have another film that I just outlined that I'm really excited about. It's a apocalyptic Christmas film. It's more like it's the apocalypse and it takes place near Christmas, but it's not a big action piece. There's action in it, but it looks more at characters. A lot of the stuff I do is dialogue based, and this is no exception. I'm thinking I want to do that after I do 30 Lives Later, but that's one of those cases where funding and resources really come into play. So that'll probably be not for another 2 years or so if I'm able to make that, just because I know what it would take to make it because of the scope of the project. So if I can't do that, then my next project after 30 Lives Later would probably be... It would either probably be Cope, which is the horror film, because I know a lot of people do horror films, and so I can probably work with them on it and co-produce it. Or another film that I have listed that's a Shark Week based film. It's probably like a 3-4 minute short film, but it's funny. Maybe that, just like a small side project. But yeah, I have got 5 or 6 different things that I want to make. Some have full scripts written, some are outlined, some I just kind of have the idea in my head. But I have a lot of projects that I want to do, and hopefully I have a lot of projects coming up as well. So, yeah, that's I think that's about it. That's everything on my resume from the past year and a half, and everything that I have coming up. So be sure to keep your eye out on Single Serving Pictures on Facebook, singleservingpictures.com, bradenor.com. That's my personal actor website. There's videos on all of these sites, galleries, so you can see a lot of my stage production stuff. Also, we do Single Serving Pictures now offers video production. So if you are interested in having a demo reel edited, or if you already have a demo reel but you have another additional clip you want to add on, we do offer services for that. We also offer full video production services for music videos and commercials. We will do that. You might want to be in the state of Georgia, because we do ask that you cover travel expenses as part of the package rate for that. So if you're in Georgia, obviously it'd be a lot cheaper to pay for that. But we do offer all those services. So if you're interested, you can go to singleservingpictures.com right now, go to the services page, and you can see all of that. We're currently running discount specials, partly Black Friday, Cyber Monday week, all that type stuff. And because we're starting out, we want to offer you a good rate on these professional grade services. So check that out, singleservingpictures.com, bradenor.com, facebook.com/singleservingpictures. Just check them all out. And thank you for watching this vlog. And hopefully I'll keep more in touch as future projects come along. And hopefully there won't be another year and a half before my next vlog. So thank you guys very much.